Welcome back, everybody. This is day 2 of Magnolia Conf. We are down here in Jackson, Mississippi at the Mississippi Museum of Art, and I have a very, very special guest with me on the last day, but it's perfect. Roxy did an amazing job yesterday. We have a couple people to have on the stream today, but I want to introduce everybody to Roxy Rodriguez-Becker. What is going on, Roxy?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. We're here. We're celebrating Halloween, right? That's what we're doing. So first things first, because it's during lunch, and I know we're both hungry. We probably want to eat. But yesterday was the first conference talk you ever gave.
Yes.
What was your talk about? I know what your talk was about.
Yeah.
Right? But let the audience know what your talk was about.
So my talk was about kind of just doing the thing you're scared to do, ship your MVP and then fix it later. Although I went super deep and talked about my personal passion project that is the Tube Feed Tracker web app for my son. And, I went through his journey. And so, I tried to tie in some emotional bits, but I also tried to make it funny so that it didn't get too dark. But for a first talk, I think it went okay. I think I could pull back a little bit on the actual story and then focus a lot more in on the actual tech behind everything. But I'm getting there. I'll iterate and work on it, but. For a first talk, I thought it went over really well.
No, I thought your talk was great. You talked about building a web app and then tying it into a real life situation with the tool that's used, and that tool is open source now, right?
Yes.
And it's downloaded and people are using it,
yes.
Right? I think that's awesome. I've worked on open source software before, and what we do at TuxCare, our tagline is we secure open source, right? So we provide security patching and stuff like that for older languages and systems and Linux distributions and stuff like that, but you personalized it, and I think that is one of the biggest things that you can do, especially if you're building software and you're talking about building software and you're talking about a tool that is needed, being able to tie a real story, I won't say a real story, but being able to tie a story to it. Like when I used to do all the talks I used to do on web accessibility, I used to tie it into real life, right? I can talk all day about web accessibility to anybody that wants to listen, right? But I might not hook them unless I have a personal story that I attach with it. So I really appreciated it that you really tied it in with your life. And I think, as a first-time speaker, that's great because you hooked everybody. And you yourself were vulnerable, but you made other people vulnerable as well. And since this is such an intimate community conference, I think it was amazing. I think you did a great job.
Thank you. I'm super grateful to Richard and Kayla for having me and giving me the chance.
What do you like most about this conference so far?
So like you said, it is really intimate, and so it's been really awesome to get to know some people that I've sort of met in passing, but sorry. This is so much. Like you and I hung out for the first time last night, really, so that was really fun. And I know I've seen you in passing, so I thought that was really cool, getting to know people. And the diverse range of topics, too, has been really fun. Of the talks, I feel like I've learned a lot every day.
Yeah. No, that's one of the cool things about this event is that people from all walks of life, I know there's people that are local, but I mean, we have people that are coming in from all over the place, all over the country, and even some international speakers that came to this event this year. And I spoke at this event a couple years ago. I spoke at it when it was virtual, and it's just a great event. Like Richard and Kayla, they're doing an amazing thing down here in Jackson, and I really think it needs to be amplified even more and get people to come here and see what we're doing. It's funny because the one of the bartenders at the Westin, we all had that conversation the other day with him, and he came over and was like, "Hey, are you guys like developers?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're running. We got this conference, next door. You should come and hang out." And he's here.
Yeah,
he's soaking
we saw
it
him
all
walk
in.
over.
Yeah, he's soaking it all in. And I think that is cool, but that is also the power of community. So taking that into community, if you had to define community, and I know you and I are both Torque ambassadors. Shout out to Torque. How would you define community?
I feel like a community is, obviously like you have your group of like-minded people, but I think it's also about the support. You're going to support each other in your individual endeavors. You're going to be there for the struggles and the wins. And I think that when your community is strong enough to where you can build almost like sub-communities, I think that that's really impactful too. Yeah, and like you said, Torque is a really good example of one. I'm also in 100 Devs and like the Dallas software developers. So yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah, I think having those micro communities is really crucial too, because like this is a big community, right? But when I talk about during my talk, UFOs and ghosts and cryptids,
Yeah.
someone in the audience might dig that. Like Kayla is really big into mythology, right? So Kayla and I, we vibe on mythological beasts and cryptids and stuff like that. Like we went book shopping in Portland a couple years ago. I was walking down the street. We were both speaking at Chain React, and I was walking down the street and she was coming back, and we were like, let's go to the bookstore. And there's a big bookstore right in downtown Portland called Powell's.
Yes.
And it's like, 3
yeah.
floors.
It's like, yeah.
And we went in there specifically to go to the paranormal section. And then we found a mythology section. And so like we spent a bunch of money that we probably shouldn't have spent.
It was on books though, so there you go.
But like that's how, Kayla and I vibe, and Kayla's really big into the horror movie scene. So like we vibe on that.
Oh,
and then
cool.
Abby's walking around in a Mothman costume. And she did that just for me. So like I have to really give credit to those micro communities, because that just brings the bigger community even closer together when you can find people of like-mindedness, not just tech. Like we talk about tech all day long. Let's talk about something different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're familiar with open spaces at conferences, right?
Yes.
So I've done open spaces at conferences, and I've written it on like the board or put a sticky note up, and it's like, let's talk about cryptids, UFOs, and ghosts. Like everybody's doing open spaces about technology. Like we're here all week or a few days talking about technology. Let's flip the script and talk about something different. And I'm sure you know that, because you're a person that works out and you do all of that. So I know there's micro communities within this big community where you can just vibe with other people.
Yeah, totally. And I think that it's really fun when you can also have like your jokes and your little inside jokes.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought, but you said something that connected to that better. So
Yeah.
I apologize that like went off the rails. But
No, it's all good. Since it is Halloween, and I keep bringing it up, Halloween for me at least starts September 1st. That's when the spooky season really starts.
Yeah.
Or you just live it every day. If anybody has been to my house would know that. Growing up as a child, what was your favorite Halloween costume?
Oh my gosh, my grandma made me a Rainbow Bright costume when I was little, and like the whole wig and everything. So like sentimentally, that's probably my favorite costume. But my sister and I dressed up as the twins from
The
Shining
Yes.
one year. Yeah. And so that's also like, I love pulling that photo up because people are like, what the crap?
Yeah. I need to see that picture.
Yeah,
I need you to send me that. There's Vans. You wear Vans. I wear
Yes.
Vans. Well, I had to stop wearing my Vans because they just hurt my feet too much. But Vans released a horror spooky. I wouldn't say spooky because it wasn't Halloween themed, but it was horror movie line of shoes a few years ago.
That's awesome.
And it was Friday the 13th, and they had lows. They had slip-ons, lows, and high tops. They had, I think they had a Michael Myers one. They had the Shining twins,
Wow.
slip-ons. Yeah. They had Freddy, and they had Jason, and they might have had one more. And I bought 5 or 6 pairs of all of
Wow.
them. And I don't wear them. They're collectors
okay.
for me and my collection. But the Friday the 13th one, and I believe the Shining twins one, because I think each one has a twin on each one. They're glow in the dark.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Well, last question. Is there anything that you want to plug before we end this verbose mode?
No, I guess if y'all just want to follow me, I do post daily on Twitter. I try to post on Blue Sky, but I cannot access it here in Mississippi.
Unless you're on a VPN.
Yeah. So I'm Roxana Codes or Roxy Rodbeck on most everywhere. So would appreciate it.
Awesome.
I'll connect.
Well, Roxy, I really appreciate you taking the time, especially during lunch. Lunch looks amazing. We have a couple more guests today on Verbose Mode. We're going to take a maybe 10, 15-minute break. We're going to bring Jason Torres on. And then
That guy.
we have Todd Libby at the end of the day. This is Verbose Mode brought to you by TuxCare, and we are signing out in 3, 2,